Hi, welcome to Primetime Pickleball, and congratulations! You've just made a huge step towards improving your pickleball game. Hi, my name is Nicole Havlicek. I'm a former nationally ranked Division I tennis player turned pickleball player, and a certified pickleball coach. And together with 5.0 pickleball player and certified pickleball coach, Jordan Briones, we're going to bring you the latest cutting-edge information in pickleball instruction, all designed to help you improve your game quickly. With that in mind, we've put together this video, all about how to hit the most effective third shot drop of your life, so that you can neutralize your opponent's returning game and capture the net. And now, here's Jordan to walk us through the 3 keys to hitting the most effective third shot drop.
You're probably here for one of 2 reasons. First is that you have no clue or very little knowledge of the third shot drop. Second is that you can't hit a third shot drop when it counts the most, in a real game situation. When warming up before a game, you seem to hit them okay, but as soon as you start, everything that you have practiced has gone out the kitchen window. When you attempt a third shot drop, it either goes way too high just to get smashed, or even worse, right into the bottom of the net. The result? You fall back on your old habits, driving or lobbing the ball. Now this strategy may work on lower level players, but if you really want to see your game improve, you must have an effective third shot drop. By the end of this video, you will have 3 important keys that will give you the most effective third shot drop. The first key to having the most effective third shot drop is knowing the what and the why. First off, what is a third shot? The third shot in pickleball is literally the third shot that is played in a point. As you can see in this diagram, the serving team will serve the ball, the first shot. The returning team will return the ball, second shot, and the team that served will hit the third shot in that sequence. Due to the double bounce rule, we know that the serving team must stay back and let the ball bounce on their side before they can volley the ball. When the serving team hits the third shot, they have one of 3 options: a third shot drive, a third shot lob, or a third shot drop. Let's take a look at what these 3 options for the third shot may look like. The third shot drive. In this sequence, you see the serving team driving the third shot. The serving team serves the ball. The returning team returns the ball and comes up to the net. And then the serving team chooses to drive the third shot. While this may be an option, as we can see here, they never really get to the net and they end up losing the point. The third shot lob. In this sequence, you see the team serve the ball, the returning team returns the ball and comes up to the net, and now the serving team tries a third shot lob. Due to the fact that lobs are very high, this usually gives the team at the net an easy smash, hitting the ball very hard in a downward motion. Again, the serving team is pushed back and forced to stay at the baseline, resulting to losing the point. While the third shot drive and the third shot lob are options for the third shot, you'll soon find out when playing more advanced players that it's not the best strategy. Being the team at the net, hitting a volley from a third shot drive, or hitting an overhead smash from a third shot lob is fairly easy over time. The most important strategy, which leads to winning in pickleball, is to get to the net, or more specifically, to get to the non-volley zone line. The team that controls the net will win the game. In the examples of the third shot drive and the third shot lob, the serving team continues to stay at the baseline without ever advancing to the non-volley zone. So how does the serving team get to the non-volley zone to take control and win the point? Yep, you guessed it, the third shot drop. In this sequence, the team serves, the returning team returns the ball and comes up to the net, and this time the serving team chooses to hit a third shot drop. Because the third shot drop is hit with a slow arcing motion and is descending into the opponent's non-volley zone, it forces the team at the net to hit up at the ball instead of hitting down. This is the biggest advantage of the third shot drop. Unlike the third shot drive or the third shot lob, the third shot drop makes your opponent hit up on the ball, which means they are limited to how hard they can hit the ball. If they choose to hit the ball too hard after a well-executed third shot drop, their ball will likely hit the net or go out of bounds. Due to the fact that the net team must now hit a softer ball, the slower, arcing third shot drop gives you time to advance and get to the non-volley zone line. Remember, the whole goal as the serving team is to get to the non-volley zone, which will allow you to dictate and control the point. The second key to having the most effective third shot drop is correct stroke fundamentals. This is the stroke breakdown of the third shot drop. Before learning the correct stroke for the third shot drop, it is very important that you have a good understanding of how to hit a dink. What you'll soon find out is that the third shot drop, in its essence, is a basic dink from the non-volley zone. Actually, they are very similar, almost identical. Check out this side-by-side comparison of me hitting a dink at the non-volley zone and a third shot from the baseline. Look pretty similar? Before going into the breakdown of the stroke, let's first talk about the grip you should use. I use a continental grip for all of my dinks and my third shot drops. This is the easiest and most conventional way to hit a dink, and it allows you to have the same grip for any forehand or backhand shot. For the continental grip, you should be able to hold the paddle out in front of you like you are shaking someone's hand. The edge of the paddle should be directly facing the ground. Now that we know what kind of grip we should use, let's now take a look at the actual stroke. When dinking, my forearm and the edge of my paddle make a 90-degree angle, or an L shape. As you can see here, from the beginning to the end of my stroke, my wrist stays in this laid-back position and is constant through the entire stroke. As you can see in this dink, I am taking a small step toward the ball, making sure I am contacting and meeting the ball out in front of my body. Now let's take a look at the actual swing path of the stroke. The first thing you see is that I do not take a big backswing. The paddle never goes behind my body, as I always keep it in front. As I begin and finish the dink, you can see that my paddle has an open face and my swing path is moving in a low to high motion. The best way to describe a dink would be a push or lift motion moving from low to high. Remember, the whole point of a dink is to hit the ball in an arcing motion over the net so that it descends into your opponent's non-volley zone, which is exactly how you want your third shot drop to be as well. The last thing that you want to notice is that I'm not using my wrist. As I begin my dink, I take a small step forward with my knees bent to get low to the ball. While contacting the ball out in front, my whole body, my legs, core, arm, and my paddle are moving in a low to high motion, and I don't ever flick my wrist. Doing all these things will help you hit a very consistent dink, which will translate to a consistent and effective third shot drop. Now let's take a look at the third shot drop. Everything we just went over in dinking applies to the third shot drop. The only difference is that you are hitting the ball from the baseline and not from the non-volley zone. Since you are much further back, it is vital that you get low to meet the ball and really use your legs and momentum moving forward. As you can see in this video, I take a step moving forward as I hit the third shot drop. You will also notice that my paddle face is open and I am making sure I am contacting the ball out in front of my body, moving the paddle and my body in a low to high motion and not using my wrist. Remember, I do not take a huge backswing, and I am using my forward momentum to lift and push the ball up and over the net. The third key to having the most effective third shot drop is drills that constantly improve your game and actually doing them. Since we just went over how the third shot drop stroke is very similar to a dink, let's look at a drill that you can practice every time you are out on the court, which will develop a very consistent and reliable third shot drop. I call this the 2 and 1 drill. Both players start at the non-volley zone, and for this drill, they will only be using half of the court. One person will be the ball feeder, and the other will be the one who is working on their third shot drop. The ball feeder will feed the ball, and the other player will hit 2 dinks from the non-volley zone. After he successfully hits 2 dinks that land into the kitchen, he will then take a small step back, and then he will hit another 2 dinks from that position. The player working on their third shot must hit every ball into the kitchen. If he misses into the net or hits the ball past the non-volley zone line, the players will switch and he will now become the ball feeder, and the other player will execute the drill. The whole goal is to get all the way to the baseline, starting out with hitting 2 dinks from the non-volley zone. The player will adjust their shot as they get further from the net. This will help you get the feel of the ball, and it will teach you to arc the ball over the net, which minimizes errors. The second drill that I do to improve my third shot drop is called 0 to 60. In this drill, one player is at the non-volley zone line, and the other is behind the baseline. The goal of this drill is to be the first person to hit 60 third shot drops into the kitchen. This drill also uses half of the court, and you can do this drill either straight or cross court. The player at the non-volley zone will feed the ball deep into the court, and from then on, it's a live ball. The player at the baseline will try to hit as many third shot drops in a row, and the player at the net will try to keep every ball deep into the court, and if he can, put the ball away for a winner. When the player at the baseline misses into the net, or if he hits the ball out of bounds, he will keep his score and the players will switch positions. Each player will keep track of their points, and whoever gets a cumulative 60 points first wins the game. Unlike the first drill, every third shot drop does not need to land into the kitchen every time. In a real game situation, you will not hit every single third shot drop perfectly into the kitchen. Sometimes you may have to just play defense to get the ball over the net. The most important thing is that you try to keep every ball in play. Even though every third shot will not land into the kitchen, you can still play defense to stay in the point. These are 2 awesome drills you can do before you play. If you practice these drills every time you play, you will see a great increase in the effectiveness and consistency of your third shot drop. You will start to see your third shot drops become more and more reliable, which will give you enormous confidence in a game-like situation. Having an effective third shot drop will put you in a better position to accomplish the main goal of the serving team, which is to advance and get to the non-volley zone to take control of the point. So that's it. Those are the 3 keys to having the most effective third shot drop. Now that we know and understand what a third shot drop is and why it is effective, we now know the importance of mastering this shot. We also went over the basic fundamentals and stroke dynamics of the third shot drop, and we've seen how similar it is to a dink. Last but not least, we looked at 2 easy drills that can be done every time you play. The only thing left for you to do is to go out and play. Remember, mastering the third shot drop takes time. Having a good understanding of the stroke and constant drilling will improve your third shot drop, which will improve your overall game.
Thank you for watching. For more tips on improving your pickleball game, please visit our YouTube channel at primetimepickleball.com/YouTube.